Anglican Archbishop Jackson Sapit has rededicated and reconsecrated the All Saints Cathedral more than a month after goons stormed the church and disrupted a public participation forum on the 2026-2027 budget. But beyond the prayers and rituals, the incident has sparked an uncomfortable national conversation about the growing presence of politics and violence in places of worship, and whether churches are increasingly becoming battlegrounds for Kenya's political contests. NTV's Susan Waweru reports.
More than a month after goons invaded All Saints Cathedral and disrupted a public participation forum, Archbishop Jackson Sapit on Wednesday led a service to dedicate and reconsecrate the church, describing the attack as an abomination and a desecration of a sacred place. For the Archbishop, the incident remains deeply personal. The attack occurred on June 12, his birthday, only hours after he had participated in a tree planting exercise in Kiambu County. Sapit says the church continues to demand answers from authorities.
We felt as a church that we are under persecution. We don't know yet from who. There was a display of 5 arrested people following the attack of All Saints. But no case has ever been heard in court. No response has been given to us.
But the attack on All Saints is not an isolated incident. Goons have attacked opposition politicians in churches, including former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua at a church service in Nyeri and Mwiki, and members of the Linda Mwananchi movement in Kisumu. The incidents have also triggered debate within religious circles over whether churches have invited the misfortune upon themselves by allowing politics onto the pulpit.
Yes, we have a political class that is arrogant and power has gotten into their head that they can send goons into the church. But also, the church has opened itself to insult and abuse. There are many times where they have allowed politicians to stand on their altar and utter things that are not of God.
The church is not to blame because it did that out of good art. Brian, if you allow me to come to your place and then I go ahead to do something that you have not allowed me to do in your place, it will not be you to blame, you who allowed me, but me who came and decided to misbehave at your home.
Even so, Archbishop Sapit warns that the growing culture of goonism poses a threat not only to places of worship, but also to the country's democratic future.
It will degenerate Kenya into a place of hopelessness and despair. And we have made elections in Kenya to be a matter of death and life, which should not be the case. Actually, we are degenerating our country into a state of lawlessness.
The Archbishop also renewed calls for action against those behind the All Saints attack, saying public confidence can only be restored through accountability and justice.
But action and justice must be demonstrated by those who are supposed to take care of us, those who are supposed to maintain law and order. And the question I asked then, who is now in charge of law and order in Kenya? Is it the goons or the police?
Until the point where the priests rise above greed, because it's greed. Yeah, it's greed for power, greed for money, that gets them to the point where they no longer care about holiness. Until the day we draw that line and separate between church and state, unfortunately, we are going to be caught up in this quagmire for some time.
As attacks, intimidation, and political rivalry find their way in places of worship, one question remains: whether blurring the line between politics and the pulpit have left them vulnerable to the very forces they sought to guide. Susan Waweru, NTV, Nairobi.